Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, the 21st day of January 2025. Happy Tuesday, which is like Monday if you had yesterday off. I hope you're all safe and healthy today. I hope you enjoyed your weekend, and I hope your family is safe and healthy, and that all of your family, including yourself, enjoyed your weekend. And I hope you're safe and healthy, and blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field, along with the first responders who every day are trying their best to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage to keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help, rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children that are victims of child molestation and pedophilia. People are out here trying to help those that are victims of prostitution and child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, double curses on the profiteers, and double curses on those perverts that drive the demands for these evil industries. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 600,000 men, women, children, families, veterans, senior citizens, homeless in the United States of America, and millions of people around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. There was a basketball game yesterday, Martin Luther King Day at Madison Square Garden, as is an annual event, and New York Knicks defeated the Atlanta Hawks 119-110. Now, this was an especially sweet win for a couple of reasons. Number one, it was the Hawks. The Leprechuan with that little dice roll in the middle of the floor the last time they won. We got a little bit of history with this little dude, going back to 2021 when they beat us in 5 games in the first round. And so there's a rivalry here. In fact, this is called Rivalry Week in the NBA. And here, the Knicks played them yesterday and beat them. So that makes it sweet. But there's a couple of other sweeter things that blessed me. One, the Tom Thibodeau made an adjustment yesterday, which earlier in the day, in the live podcast that I did yesterday, there were a number of us that had wondered, how can the Knicks improve the defense? Because they had been only playing less than 48 minutes of good defense. And that's why we were having some trouble closing out games. The Knicks would play good defense for 3 quarters and a little bit, 2 quarters and a half, and then struggle at the end. But yesterday, Thibs made an adjustment. This is the thing. The Knicks were out-rebounded yesterday, 41-39. They were out-rebounded on the offensive glass, 16-12. They had the Knicks 16 turnovers yesterday. Terrible with the turnovers yesterday. The turnovers went to 19 points for Atlanta. But the big difference is Thibs went with 9 players yesterday. Now, he always plays 8 or 9, but lately he's been playing 7. Now, whatever the reason, I know there's been some injuries, some nicks and knacks that happen, right? But yesterday he went with the full contingent of Precious, Deuce, Shaman, and Payne off the bench, and they all got rotation minutes yesterday. Huge difference. Also, another subtle, but for just as important difference, his most available player is Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges played in 500-something straight games, right? But he cut Mikal's minutes back. Why? Mikal, you're depending on him to be a two-way player. Two-way players are hard to come by in the NBA. And when you do get them, they're very difficult. It's very difficult to play at an elite level on both ends of the floor. Mikal is capable of doing that. And by cutting his minutes back, you got more energy out of him to do that. Early in the game, he got beat defensively. Early in the game, like in the first 3 minutes, 2 minutes of the game. It was a bad defensive play on his part. But then the Leprechaun said something to him. And I saw, you could see, all of a sudden, they started drawing back and forth. And then an energy came to Mikal, a high-level defensive energy. And the Leprechaun was shut down. I mean, and that's the thing. In the NBA, it's very difficult to shut down a professional level scorer. an elite scorer, which the Leprechaun is. Got given the credit. But when Mikal brought that energy to him, it was an 8 for 22 night. He had 9 turnovers. Mikal, and this is pretty much Mikal. I mean, he had other people coming in helping, as is, the norm in the league. But it was pretty much Mikal putting the clamps on the Leprechaun. And I saw it when it started, and I thought to myself, I was a little perturbed, to be honest, because well, if that's all it took was somebody to talk to you, with some mess for you to get hyped, to play the type of defense we know you could play, why couldn't you do that before? But anyway, he calls the Leprechaun 9. It was mostly Mikal Bridges. And because he played less than 27 minutes yesterday, Mikal Bridges actually played, let me see, he played, well, they have him listed at 27 minutes, but he played 27 minutes yesterday. It was a little less, but because he did that, he had the energy to do both ends, and he had 26 points. Now, he had 5 turnovers, but the lockdown defense and the 26 points, that's what you're talking about. And he only took 2 attempts at the 3-point line yesterday. Hit 1 out of 2. But most of it was mid-range. And he was cutting back door. And he was moving without the basketball. And man, that's number one. So that's something we want to keep in mind, because the fact that Thibs played Chua, Payne, Deuce, and Shamet rotation minutes yesterday. Now, I don't know if the Shamet if it was because Deuce had 4 fouls. So Deuce played 20 minutes. He would normally play about 24, 25 minutes. But he played 20 because he was in foul trouble. But the key thing here is that we were looking for an extended amount of high-level defense. And the way we were just talking about this yesterday. A number of y'all brought it up with myself. And the thing is, what we're saying is you got to put the unit with Deuce in it out there in the third and the fourth quarter. We know Thibs likes to close the game with his starters. But if he can put that defensive unit out there for a few more minutes, and that's what happened. So Brunson plays 39 minutes. Still a lot of minutes for him. Hart plays 37, which is about his average. That's not unusual for Josh Hart. But Bridges, the 27 minutes that Bridges played, that was the key. Because what happened when Bridges would go out, OG played 41 minutes yesterday. And so this is the thing. The unit that is the devastatingly, with this lineup, the unit that's the devastatingly defensive unit is Karl Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, Cameron Payne, and Deuce McBride. That's a devastating defensive unit. And then he would bring in Shamet, okay, and then take out Towns and bring in Anobi. And he took out Hart and put in Shamet. That was a devastating defensive unit. And he played them in the third quarter and the fourth quarter. Perfect. It was perfect. And so the reason this becomes important is because, okay, there's 38 games left. Right now, the Knicks are 28-16, a tremendous record right now at the 44 game mark of the season. 38 games left. Of the 38 games they got left, they got 18 games of back-to-backs between now and the end of the season. Starting tonight in Brooklyn, they got 18 games of back-to-backs, okay? So you're going to need to have this type of lineup balance during the course of the rest of this season, coming down the stretch here. Plus, you're getting Mitchell Robinson back soon. So when you have all of that, and I don't know if it's going to be Shamet or Payne that's the odd man out of the rotation. I don't know. But it don't matter, because whichever one is in and whichever one is out, the Knicks are going to be rolling. We're just about on the cusp of the Juggernaut we've been waiting for. See, we hadn't gotten there yet, but we're just about on the cusp. And I'm really looking forward to seeing tonight's game, because I want to see if Thibs continues this pattern of reducing Bridges' minutes to under 30 and increasing Deuce's minutes. And that's basically what he was doing. And then putting that lineup of Towns and Hart with the bench unit, with Mobb Deep. That was, this is the thing. And the reason it was devastating, look, Towns had 13 points yesterday, 5 of 18. He wasn't shooting the ball well, but he had 9 boards, right? And he had 7 assists. He was playmaking. That's why, we were saying we wanted Towns to be the number one option, because He not only can shoot when he's ready, when he's on, but he could play make from the 5 spot. And there's no 5 in the league that can guard him. Onyeka Okongwu is really good. Both him and Evan Mobley come out of USC in consecutive years. And I liked both of those cats coming out of college. I couldn't believe USC was fortunate enough to get 2 blue chippers like that at the 5, one after another. So, Onyeka is good. That's what I'm saying. And it was only a matter of time before he takes over the 5 spot for Atlanta. They've been trying to trade Capella so they can give him the 5, right? He can't guard Gato. And, of course, Capella couldn't guard Gato. Neither of them could. And the thing that stopped Gato yesterday was Gato, because he got 2 quick fouls. I thought he had got 3, but he got 2 quick fouls. Bridges had 3. Hart had 4. Deuce had 4. So that limited them a little bit. Okay, especially Deuce and Gato, because you had to take Gato out, but instead of putting Bridges in, which is what Thibs had been doing, he puts OG in. And OG, yesterday, 41 minutes, he only had 8 points, but OG had 9 boards, including 2 offensive boards. OG only took 4 shots. OG's effect, as we know, was on the defensive end of the floor. You see? So if he's putting his energy on the defensive end of the floor, which is what he did yesterday, and he does it like that, we good. We good, okay? And the Knicks are very good. So I want to see tonight against Brooklyn if he runs these minutes very similar. If there's no foul trouble, I'm expecting Deuce to get something in the neighborhood of 24, 25 minutes. I'm expecting Bridges' minutes to come down a little bit and everything else flow the way it was. And then, of course, Dyson Daniels fouls out, and this is what happened. We talked about this yesterday. We expected Josh Hart to initiate the offense most of the time. We expected Brunson to not have to deal with the full court pressure that Dyson Daniels could bring. And they did. They had Josh Hart initiating the offense. And then you had Brunson playing off the ball, and Brunson killed that boy off the ball. That's what the problem was. He killed him. By the time you got that 6th foul, and the 6th foul, Brunson was actually bringing the ball up. But the boy was frustrated and grabbing and holding Brunson. He was frustrated. He's a young boy. He's good. He's going to be good. He's going to be on the All-NBA defense this year because he's that good. But Brunson's a wily vet. He's crafty. And he got that boy, and Brunson put up the 6 because he knew it was it. That was it for the boy. So off-ball Brunson was rough on Dyson. That's the answer to full court pressure by some tall dude that they want to put on Jalen Brunson. That's the key to break that. That's the counter move to break that move. So if you put on Brunson a guard, a traditional point guard, he's going to destroy him. And just like nobody can guard Gato one-on-one at the 5 spot, if you put a traditional PG on him, CP3 or anybody, you name somebody, you put Fred VanVleet, you put a traditional point guard, Maxey, they're going to have problems with Brunson. Okay, they're going to have problems with him. But what we've been seeing is they're putting height on Brunson, length. And the Knicks do the same thing. That's what happened yesterday. They put Mikal Bridges, 6'6", 7-foot wingspan, on the Leprechaun. And the Leprechaun looking for the jailer. Take this key, open this gate for me, man. I'm locked up. See? So that's what they've been doing to Brunson. But the answer is you let Josh Hart bring the ball up. You let Josh Hart initiate. This is how important Josh Hart is. The dude yesterday had 9 boards, 4 in the offensive end, 14 points, 7 of 12 from the field. He only took 1 3-pointer. It wasn't like they was trying to bomb themselves out of yesterday. No, they weren't. Gato took 6 3-pointers. Payne took 6. Deuce took 5. And that's fine. Those are the guys you want shooting them. But it was efficient. And so Hart was playing defense, initiating the offense, and getting every freaking loose ball that was out there. A lot of his rebounds are really loose balls that he gets the ball. Okay? There's a crowd of guys going for the ball, and I've watched him do it live. Still don't know how he does it. He's 6'4". There's dudes 6'8", 6'9", 6'10" that's going for the ball with him. He comes up with it. It's ridiculous how good he is at that. And so that's what he was doing yesterday, along with initiating the offense, along with playing stellar defense, and that's what you want from Josh Hart. And you're going to always get that, especially right now. Josh Hart is in his prime, which brings me to the next point. You got Mikal, you got all of these guys, all 5 of the starters, plus you got Deuce, and nobody on the bench. Cameron Payne and Shamet are in their prime, and the 5 starters are in their prime. This is the year or the beginning of a situation where the Knicks could really go all the way. And that's what I've been saying. This is the beginning of that situation. They have worked out. Now we got the formula how we can play 48 minutes of defense. And you still this, and I wanted them to be able to do this before MitchRob got back. Because that way, if you don't want to depend on one player to say, okay, can he save our defense? You want to be able to have a scheme. The Knicks now have that. Okay, they now have that. And so you bring back Mitchell Robinson to what you got now. Yeah, we good. We good, y'all. We good. And so tonight, I want to see how they roll this thing out tonight. Like I said, I want to see Mikal Bridges play that 27 minutes is perfect. And then let him put two-way pressure on whoever is the offensive guy for the other team, especially at the guard position. In this case, yesterday was the Leprechuan. It don't matter. Every team has one. I don't know who the Nets are going to have playing tonight because I know that Cam Thomas is hurt, and I don't know if he's playing tonight. Let me see what let me look at their. Let's take a look at their injury report for the Nets. Let's see here. So Brooklyn tonight, they got Bodega 44 is out. He old. Cam Thomas is out, hamstring. Ben Simmons is day-to-day because he got an illness. Zaire Williams is out because of ankle sprain. D'Lo is questionable. So they got a lot of injuries right now. I don't know, but of course, we can't sleep on them. Don't sleep on nobody. So Zaire Williams, Ben Simmons is day-to-day, but Zaire Williams and Cam Thomas are out. They're going to have Jalen Winston, Keon Johnson, D'Lo, Noah Clowney, Deron Sharp. They got Nick Claxton starting at the 5. So, they got Cam Johnson, who's been playing very well. Solid player. Always been that way since he got drafted by Phoenix. Always been that way. Nice player. And so, yeah, this is a game. This is going to be a good game to keep this formula up of playing 9 guys. Or at least 8. Like I said, I don't know if either Shamet or Payne would have got rotation minutes if Deuce wasn't in foul trouble. I don't know. But tonight, I want to see them use at least a full 8 and get the rotation minutes for full 8. He does that again, and we should see some good stuff here. So I want to make sure that the key here for tonight, again, overall key is for the Knicks to play 48 minutes of defense. That's the key here. Okay, it's not 48 minutes of shooting. It's 48 minutes of defense, not offense. Probably people keep getting caught up in offensive numbers and offensive efficiency. No. We want to win a chip. We need defense. Okay, so if we can get 48 minutes of defense, that's the premise every night. 48 minutes of defense. How you going to do that? You got to play your defensive units more minutes. How you going to do that? You include Deuce McBride with Precious and either Payne or Shamet with Hart, Gato, and OG, and you bring them. Let them bring the noise in the third, especially the third and the fourth quarters. He started the fourth quarter with Deuce yesterday. That was key. That was a key. And if the ref didn't take Deuce out of the game with them 2 stupid fouls they called on him, it might have been worse for the ATL yesterday. So we got at least. I know we play Atlanta at least 2 more times. At least 2 more times this year. We play Atlanta. We play Cleveland 2 times. See, again, there's now 38 games left. 18 of the 38 are back-to-backs. Okay? The Knicks have 9 sets of back-to-backs to play, starting tonight, between tonight and the end of April. They got 9 sets of back-to-backs. You're going to need to have Mitchell Robinson. You're going to need to have a good, solid 8-man rotation. And I'm very confident this is what we got now. When you bring that together, and Mitchell Robinson looking really good. I haven't seen him look this slim since the year before when he broke his foot and he tried to put all that weight on that summer, think he was going to get bulked up. I've seen that before. It's always a mistake. It ruins a lot of players' careers trying to get big real fast. But now he's back to the slim MitchRob that could cover ground really fast with that 7-foot wingspan. Yeah, we're going to be all right. We're going to be all right, y'all. So I'm very excited about it. Like I said, yesterday's win was big for more than one reason. It wasn't just that it was the Leprechaun. He ain't rolling no dice on Madison Square Garden now. You know, he's still calling for the key. Somebody get the key, man. Get that key from Bridges, man. I'm locked up in here. He's still calling for the key. So they're going to have to counter move what Thibs did yesterday. We'll see what they do. But maybe they'll have Daniels or somebody initiating the offense, because Mikal Bridges was ready to play some defense yesterday. They woke up the sleeping giant. And I saw when it happened, it was the first quarter. And all of a sudden, he got all hyped and he was all over the Leprechaun. Yeah. Don't come in here talking no mess like that. You setting yourself up to get, a proper behind whooping, which is what he took yesterday. Now, tonight, again, I want to make sure. I want to see what we do with this rotation. If we could play 8, assuming there's no injuries, God forbid, no foul trouble, we get 8 solid guys, if not 9. And that's, Thibs has done this before. I think he was waiting until he got the full healthy contingent and everybody's back now. We're going to be good. And with MitchRob, you're going to see him play some minutes with Towns. You got to try that, right? It's too tantalizing not to at least take a look at it. But I don't think that's going to be as effective as people think. I think MitchRob coming off the bench with Josh Hart, Deuce, and whoever, Shamet or Payne, and Precious, that's going to be that to me. Precious should start next to Gato. You put Precious next to Gato, and then you bring MitchRob, Deuce, Hart. That's noise right there. That's serious noise. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I'm excited, as you could tell. Let's get this game on now. I want to see what Thibs and them do tonight. It's a good practice because it's a back-to-back, so we see how they respond. And let's see how this goes. We're gonna see. Y'all enjoy tonight's game. Be safe out there. So.